Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about getting back in shape, even though some of us were never quite in shape. I made a lot of mistakes in my life in regard to health and well-being, diet, exercise, all that. I went up and down over the years, weight-wise. I got into exercising back in the 70s, 1970s, sometimes in the 80s. And then I went to work, and I was always busy and doing stuff. My weight always fluctuated, but I was kind of a heavy-set guy. But in my youth, I was a little bit more muscular, involved in sports and athletics and all that. And when you're a very active person, when you stop being that active, if you're muscular, you tend to lose the muscle and gain the fat. And if you've ever gained a lot of weight and then lost a lot of weight, you will realize it's very easy to gain that weight back very quickly, because once your body gets to this proportion, it can always go back to there again very quickly, and without you doing many different things, or things differently, like exercising or what you're eating. So I made a mistake this last couple of years because, since COVID, the lockdown, during COVID, stopped being active at all. Stayed in the house with my elderly dad, who I'm the caregiver for. And after that, I was trying to get back on track because I noticed my father was getting weaker and frailer as he got older. And so I wanted to get him back up to health, to some kind of health, with some kind of stamina, some kind of muscle. But, and we were doing all right for a while, and it was proceeding well. And I was working out with him in the house, not out at a gym or something. I'll explain later why that's not always a good idea, to go to a gym or a professional place or apartment gym. But we were doing great. But then he stopped and refused to do any more, no matter how much I bullied him. He'd do it for other people when they came, like physical rehab, but he wouldn't do it for me. He wouldn't do it for some aides that came in. He'd only do it for like physical rehab. And they weren't coming, and every day. They were coming twice a week, once a week, for 20 minutes at a shot, and then they would stop coming. I wasn't paying them directly to come, and if I did, I couldn't afford to do that. So my dad stopped, and when he stopped doing it, I stopped doing it. And I'm realizing now, especially recently, that I've let it all go. I've gotten really too comfortable just sitting there, even though I'm very active in the house and very active during the day. I cook, I clean, I do laundry, I do dust, I vacuum, I do shopping, I do all that stuff, and take care of my dad, get him cleaned up, shower, do all the other stuff. That's not enough. That's not enough. That's not real exercise. That's not a real activity. Those short-spanned activities, not going to do it. It's got to be more than that. And you're not vacuuming every day, and you're not dusting every day, and you're not cleaning the bathroom floor every day. So what you think, I'm a very active person, people who've seen me at home say, you never stop doing stuff, Mark. You're always doing something. Yeah, right now. But that's going to stop. And so we continue to eat the same amount we always eat, but our activity level is not as high as it used to be. And we're older now, and we're on medications and all this stuff, and we're weaker, frailer than we used to be. We can't take a hit like we used to. We can't slip and fall because we don't bounce anymore. Not that young people bounce, but they can just hop right back up, and older people, we can't do that. Not easily. Some people can, and that's what gets me when you see somebody on TV that's old and dancing and very active, and I'm like, genetics. He's been doing that his whole life. You never see a big fat guy who lost all this weight and is really active and out there doing exactly what those people do. It's like one of my relatives, distant relatives, Dick Van Dyke. He's out there at age 98 with a cane, but he's still dancing and doing stuff. But he's been doing that his entire life. This Van Dyke hasn't been doing that. Not at all. So I had an epiphany, basically, that I need to start taking back my health for myself, not with somebody else, to do things around somebody else, to plan things around other people. And if they want to come and join in, that's fine, but I can't make that a requirement for me to do the right things for myself. Because I got to tell you, this guy's got to let this go. This guy's got to stop this. This guy can't let that happen. Not anymore. And, guys, do that. Say, look at that. That's hard, though. That's muscle. It's not muscle. When you have a distended stomach like that, it's not muscle. It's gas. It's gas buildup inside your stomach that's causing that swelling and that hardness. If you take a bunch of gas pills, Gas X or whatever, wait 3 hours, then try that. It's not doing it anymore. Not doing that anymore. It's put us soft. Because it's not what we men claim it is. So I have to take that back. My health for myself on my own terms. And tonight, this begins the new program of what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing it for myself, making time for myself, even as a caregiver, even as tired as I am from all the caregiving and the other stuff that I do. I have to make time for myself. That means if I have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I'm an insomniac, so I'm usually up. But if I wasn't an insomniac, I will get up at 5 in the morning. Go walking. Exercise in your room. Do something. Every little bit helps. And I'm going to cut back certain things. I'm not a proponent of diets, big changes to your diet. They say if you're going to stop smoking, don't go on a diet at the same time. And but do try to increase your exercising. Same thing with exercise. I need to be able to burn off more calories than I'm intaking, even if I'm not binge eating. Now, I'm a big guy, and I don't really eat sweets. I rarely eat desserts. Every once in a while, I have a little slice of cake or something. But I don't sit around eating ice cream, eating donuts. I don't do that. I drink coffee. I can eat an entire pizza by myself. It's frozen pizza. We get a Papa John's or Beer Nose or, Jets pizza. I can eat a lot of that. Probably too much. But I have to cut that back, and so I'm going to say, for now, my diet at home is going to stay the same, except no more pizza. No more frozen pizza. No more ordered pizza, delivery pizza, none of that. No more McDonald's. And if I do go to McDonald's, it'll be to get the burger, not the fries, and not the soda. Just the burger. Or a Whopper by itself. But that has to be limited to one time a week. I got back into the habit of going to McDonald's more often. My dad would ask me, my father, hey, how about some McDonald's? I don't want a quarter pounder. But I realized I was going there and getting it and bringing it back, and he was only eating half of the quarter pounder, or a little less than half, and only a few of the fries. Spending all this, but me, I'd finish the entire Big Mac meal that I bought. So I'm going to have to cut back on that and limit what I get and start working out in the house, because you never know what going to happen outside. What if we get another lockdown? We're all stuck in the house again. I don't have a treadmill in my house, and when I did have a treadmill, I've said in earlier videos, I used it to hang coats on, or clothes, or put shoes on. It was basically a big hanger. So, what can I do in my house? And I have to be careful, because like I said, I'm the caregiver for my father, who has Alzheimer's and dementia, so I can't really go out jogging and running and around the complex. What if I break my ankle? What if I fall down? At my age, I could break something, and then I still have to take care of him. So I have to be careful. So what am I going to do? Number one, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this stretch thingy and do this kind of thing. Why not? Sit here and watch YouTube videos about cats and females from the French Olympics. They sort of went crazy on that, taking pictures of those girls' videos. But to do that kind of thing, do this. Just sit in place. Sit here. Don't have to get up. Just do this. Another thing that I could do and will do is use wrist weights and ankle weights. And these, I did this in an earlier video when I was talking about trying to get my elderly father active again, and before he stopped doing it. This TheraBrand wrist weights, and just start wearing them around the house like I used to. Even when I'm doing stuff, dusting, cleaning. But sitting here in the chair, just do this. When you don't have a messed up shirt, when you're doing the laundry, wear these and do that. And then as that progresses, as you get used to doing this, add this to it. Add some weight. Doesn't have to be a lot. This is a 6-pound weight, which you can't see. And wear that in conjunction with this. And do it in both hands. That's one thing. Of the 3 things, the 4 things I said I'm going to start doing. But also, walking in place. I had these in an earlier video when I was getting in there and doing it. I say, put your shoes on. Put your running shoes on. Put your athletic shoes on. Get on up. Get behind your chair. Get on something. Hold something. Pointing at the TV. Stand up on the TV and just to begin to walk in place. Fat guys, we get right up. But just walk in place. That's all you got to do. That's all you have to do. You really, that's right. Really, I keep trying to tell people, but no one listens to me. Walk in place. Walk in place. Time yourself. 15 minutes. Start off with 10 minutes. And go up to 20 minutes. Go up to 30 minutes. And if every once in a while you can get out to a treadmill and get on a treadmill and work out, walk, or if the weather is good, you can walk around your building or around your neighborhood, if you got a good neighborhood. But if you don't have a good neighborhood, stay at home. And try not to do stupid things. Or if I drive by Krispy Kreme and smell that, I've gained 20 pounds before I even get there. Not that I would stop, just the smell puts weight on me. I got to be careful about that kind of thing, walking by bakeries. But that's what I'm going to do. By myself, for myself. I have to make the time for me and not plan things around other people and with other people. And if they happen to show up, but if somebody showed up at my house, they would be here to distract me from doing what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to have to get up if I was sleeping and a little bit earlier and take care of that. Get up first, do your stretching. Stretching's super important. I didn't ever realize that in my life until when I was trying to figure out how to do this with my dad. But stretching is super important before you do anything. Because I'm not an athlete. Back in my day when we played football in high school, we were not, the only time we stretched was to show off to the cheerleaders. We just went in and got our heads beat in by bigger guys. I did take a licking, but I kept on ticking. But I have to do this for me. And I have to do it during hours that most likely won't be interrupted by my loved one who has Alzheimer's and dementia. Not that that's a problem now, but, you know. Oh, by the way, if you ever see my videos, and you see my hands a lot in my videos, if you ever notice red palm, that's a hereditary problem, a hereditary trait. And sometimes they'll get very red. And people, and I never noticed them until some people start pointing it out to me. But I have red palms, and it can relate to my blood pressure. It can relate to a lot of different things. But I've always had these since I became an adult. And it's just the way it is. It's hereditary. It's not tied to any medical. But some people, it's tied to other conditions they have. But it can be also my blood pressure, the caffeine I'm on, and even the medications I'm on. So don't get scared if you see red palms. And yes, I have my contrast set properly on my webcam. And you see red lips, same thing. I'm not wearing lipstick. Sometimes my lips get red from all the caffeine and the medications and all the talking that I do. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be weighing myself in the beginning because right now I'm like 295 pounds. And the scale means nothing at this point. Clothes fit, that means everything. And how you feel, that means everything too. I don't see how they both do, but they both mean everything. When you're losing weight and exercising, while you lose that weight, you're also building muscle mass, and that puts weight on you. So you're trading fat weight for muscle weight. And when you get on the scale, you look down, well, I didn't lose any weight. That's why I don't look at the scale. Not until you're down to that point when it means something. I mean, if you can fit into pants you haven't been able to fit in 10 years, go weigh yourself and see where am I at. You know, what happened? But weight means very little to me. That's really hard because when I go to the doctor, they always, first thing they do is weigh you and tell you how much you weighed. I don't want to know that, guy. And then my blood pressure's high, and they said, your blood pressure's really high, Dan. And I said, yeah, you just told me I weigh 300 pounds. And I'm in here in this, and you got needles. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be working out a little bit at a time every day. I'm not going to be eating pizza, entire pizzas, or any pizza. And that's going to be hard for me, but I'm going to break that cycle. I'm not going to be doing fast food every time my father asks me, or a family member or a friend. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to swap my diet over to salads because I'm not a salad guy. I like a salad from time to time, just like I like a piece of cake from time to time. But I can't just sit there and eat nothing but salads. These salads, way too much of that gives me gas, which pumps my stomach out, makes it hard as a rock. So, I'm not going to be doing that. But I am going to be posting videos of my progress. Very short videos saying, look, this is what I did. This is what I accomplished. This is how many minutes I'm doing. And this is where I think we're heading while I'm trading the fat for the muscle. Even though I'm not expecting that big muscles. I wouldn't want them anyway, any kind. If you're really muscular, young men start giving you that macho bullshit because they're scared of you. I don't know. And also, I'm going to trim my beard. I did trim my beard. You know why? We're getting closer to Christmas. And I had a fuller beard and a gut on me. And every time I walked out of my house, all the little kids were giving me these looks. Wistful, smiling, wondering, is that Santa? So I shaved it back so I don't quite look like Santa or a deranged biker. But anyway, that's my new start today. For me. I'm not saying it's just for me as a family caregiver. Because a family caregiver is what I do. You know, as if I worked around the house. That's what I do. If I worked at a job still, that's what I do. But for me, my life, those things aren't my life. This is my life. And I have to take care of it. I let it go too long. I let the weight of the world and the weight of caregiving and the despondence over so many different things weigh me down into passive sitting there twiddling my thumbs, waiting for something to happen that would enthuse me to take better care of myself. And I have to do it on my own. I have to make myself do that. And I'm going to let you all know. I don't know if anyone cares about it, but this is the beginning of my journey for me. So if nobody out there cares about it, oh well. I'll watch my own videos. I like the sound of my own voice. Didn't you realize that? Anyway, I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.